Another development tonight in Superior's push to take over water utilities from SWLNP. Well, tonight, City Council approved a motion to publish the resolution, getting it one step closer to putting it on an April ballot. Northern News Now's Leslie Krebs was at that meeting and joins us live in studio tonight with what happens next. Leslie?
That motion allows the city to publish the resolution in the paper for at least a week so further discussion can be had before it can potentially become an April referendum. Mayor Jim Payne insists the move to take over utilities won't hurt taxpayers, arguing a municipal utility could actually lower rates. Councilors like Garner Moffitt are in full support of the resolution. He feels a city takeover would ultimately lower costs for residents in the long run.
The city should be able to help hold rates down, and that means savings every year will continue to grow. And of course, just like owning a home, once you pay it off, the savings are much higher, right? So you can just focus on maintenance at that point.
Currently, Superior is the only city in Wisconsin served by a privately owned water utility. President of SWLNP, Rob Sandstrom, says the city doesn't have a full grasp of the costs of taking on water utility.
They've backed away because the costs are high and the economics aren't there to make sense. So what they've done is they've ended up partnering with the utilities, and we're encouraging partnership with the city of Superior to work on a path forward.
Again, tonight's decision was ultimately not about whether the resolution will end up on the April ballot. It was just the next step City Council needed to take so that further review can be made about the costs associated for a potential takeover. The publication will act as a notice for residents to share their concerns. Now, the public is invited to provide feedback on whether they want to see a referendum on the April ballot at the next City Council meeting, which will take place September 1st. Live in studio, Leslie Krebs, Northern News Now.